Hey StarCraft 2 fans, welcome back to the MLG Dallas 2010. I am your humble caster Lasercorn with Mahalo Video Games, and here we are on Lost Temple for the second game between these two players, Liquid Tyler against EG Machine. And if you didn't catch the first game between these two players, you should go back and do a quick search for that. Pretty good game, and I am going to spoil the ending of it, so staying on this video would be a bad idea if you haven't seen it yet. EG Machine won after a failed attack by Tyler with Blink Stalkers into his main base. He thought he could come around, Tyler thought he could come back around through the rocks on Blistering Sands, but Machine was there with his Spine Crawlers, which he moved back into position to attack the new invading forces from the rear, or from the back entrance. And yeah, once Tyler saw all his stalkers blowing up, he just GG'd out. So it was a good game. Looks like Machine going to be scouting the near position here with one Overlord and scouting up here with his other Overlord. Neither will find anything as they are at cross positions. I want to take a second too to plug the Lasercorn Challenge, and that'll be starting on Monday, so just a couple days from when I'm casting this game. And what's going to happen is, if you send me an email to lasercorn.com, I'm sorry, lasercorn@mahalo.com. I'm going to redo this cast. Welcome back to another exciting game of StarCraft 2. This one between Tyler and Machine, or EG Machine and Liquid Tyler. If you didn't catch the first game between these two competitors, go ahead and do a quick search for that on YouTube. Tyler versus Machine Game 1, as it was a pretty good game, and I will probably spoil the ending of it for you at some point here. So you should go search that and watch that one first. Anyway, I want to take a minute to plug the Lasercorn Challenge that I'm doing. On Monday, I will be drawing my first contestant, who will face off against me in a one-on-one match for a $40 GameStop gift card. All you got to do is send your Battle.net character name and character code to lasercorn@mahalo.com, and you will be entered in that contest. Don't lose, though, because if you do, I'd put it up on YouTube and make fun of you. Which won't happen, I'm sure. You guys will crush me. And looks like we've got Machine sending out an Overlord to scout. Probably going to check this top position here, the 12 o'clock. Sending another one down here. And won't find anything because they're at cross positions, but he'll know where his opponent isn't. And a bit of deduction where his opponent is. Looks like a probe coming out to scout now for Tyler. And if you didn't catch the last game, it was pretty exciting. Machine actually had some Spine Crawlers up at the front of his base on Blistering Sands, but Tyler came around the back door, knocked the rocks down, and went for his main base. But Machine saw it coming, moved his Spine Crawlers, re-burrowed them, and trapped a bunch of the Stalkers up against the ledge and just massacred them. And after that, Tyler GG'd out. Looks like the expansion will go down with no problem here. So, Machine with no backdoor to watch this time. He just has to watch that one ramp, so should be interesting. Lost Temple, a good map if you're tearing to drop. siege tanks up on this ledge and deny an expansion. Colossi can abuse that ledge too, so maybe we'll see that out of Tyler. I know if he goes playing Stalkers again, he's probably going to get himself in trouble again, because machines seem to be ready for that last time. Here we go, we got Zerglings moving out across the field. Slowlings, as they have no metabolic boost upgrade quite yet. And Warp Gate technology on the way for Tyler, being chrono boosted from that Cyber Core there. Excellent positioning of the Zealot to guard the ramp, as most good Protoss players will do. Because unlike us Terran players, they can't just lift off their buildings. Suckers. Or in the case of supply depots, bury them. And Probe going out here, it's got to be careful though, there is a Queen, and that Queen scuttles back to the creep. He's going to let this, she's going to let this Probe poke around the base. We've got another Spine Crawler going up for Machine. Machine really a good defensive player from what I've seen of him. Forces his opponents into making mistakes. Got some sentries out now for Tyler. Help guard that ramp. And what a lot of players will do is they won't even block off the ramp and they'll just get sentries and throw down force fields to guard the ramp, but I feel this block off is more stable. And these Protoss forces are moving out. Fairly quick expansion here from Tyler. Not too fast, but he definitely wants to expand, get that going. Let's see, he is behind in minerals right now. And harvesters to Machine. In his machine-like macro. Creep Teamer going down, another Spine Crawler coming up. And good Overlord watching the good Overlord placement watching these ledges here. In case a Warp Prism or something tries to float down. Actually, he should have one right down here too if he wants to cover his whole base. But some sneaky Protoss player might try to float a Warp Prism in there and warp a bunch of units into your base. And he's got one Overlord position on this high ground. You can see by the yellow dot that he is out of vision of these Stalkers. They can't hit him. So good positioning there. And we got Burrow coming out on the production tab for Machine as Tyler main arts some probes down near his expansion to get that saturated. And that is a very sentry heavy army. So we're going to see a lot of Guardian Shields and force fields going down. And really that's a good strategy to use against the Zerg. Zerg break up that swarm, cut them off, chop them into pieces, and take them out one chunk at a time. It can be very effective. Although we have seen Burrow used as a counter to force fields when there's no detector out, and if your forces have Burrow, when they get cut off from the main army, they can just by force fields they can just burrow until the force fields go away. So forces Protoss to get a detector, and wow, a lot of gateways coming out here for Tyler. 5 gates. Looks like Machine going to work on these rocks here guarding the high yield expansion. Maybe thinking of expanding. If he does get that high yield expansion, his economy will rocket ahead of Tyler's. And look at this, burrowed roaches. So while those 2 Spine Crawlers may look like easy pickings for a large Protoss army, they are in fact not. But roaches get unburrowed and moved out across the field. Could we be seeing an attack here from Machine? Uh-oh, here we are going to see Machine forces engage. Force field's going down to try and trap these units, and yes, there is the burrow counter I was talking about. They were trapped, knew they had nowhere to go, and they just burrowed. Wow, so great play by Machine. And now these roaches coming back out, focus firing. They do heal very quickly when they're underground like that, so excellent move. burrowing when they... Wow, that one got trapped. I guess you can only burrow so many forces in so tight an area. I imagine that's what just happened there. And here we go. They've healed up and are coming back at this Protoss force. So excellent micro from Machine, healing up and microing backwards to hit these Zealots, but it does look like he's going to back off. He feels that the Protoss army is just larger and it's definitely more diverse. And yeah, it probably wouldn't have ended well if he engaged there. But his macro game is about to shoot ahead of Tyler, and you can see he's already up to 108 supply against Tyler's. Well, I guess he's at 105. He was at 95 a second ago, 110. So supply count very close, but that'll change if Tyler doesn't do something about this expansion, or take his own expansion model. That's also a good play, but he is going to still be behind because, well, actually this expansion isn't too saturated, but probably more drones coming. No, there's a queen coming. He needs to get that expansion up quickly if he's not going to counterattack. Actually, what he should do is counterattack and throw that expansion up. And the Stalkers are moving out, trying to get in position. Mutalists on the field now, though, and flyer weapons level 1 coming out for Machine. So Muta Roach play, very interesting. And here we go, engaging those force fields, cutting off a lot of the Roaches. They're trying to burrow, but there is an observer on the field, so Burrow is doing nothing right now. And an Immortal out too. This could get very bad for Machine. He just lost a large portion of his forces. And you can see here, all that's really left are these Roaches and Mutalisks. And that is a big, big Stalker army. So I don't know how Machine's going to deal with this. He's trying to pick off a few Stalkers and micro out of there. And it looks like he is pulling a lot of this army away from his old expansion. Good play. But they are getting picked off by those very quick Stalkers. And he's quickly running into a corner here. And it looks like he's going to re-engage, but only a couple Stalkers there. And one of the Roaches goes down. Stalkers now going after that Overlord. And I don't know if this was a good move by Tyler. I think instead of chasing this rogue army detachment, he should have gone after the expansion, one of those expansions. Because now you give Machine time to macro back up, even though you've taken out a large part of his army. And he does find 2 Overlords there, and he did just supply cap Machine. Machine tries to burrow, but once again, that observer just detecting everything, and this army detachment will go down. But look at this, Mutalisk coming in from the north, going after the probes of Tyler, trying to get a little economy harass in here, and Stalker being warped in to deal with these, but he's going to need more than one Stalker. And here comes the rest of his army down the ramp, and those Mutalisks will have to get out of there. So it looks like Tyler going to try this attack again after having to chase those Roaches all over the field. And I don't know if this is going to work now. You can see Machine has rebuilt his army. That is a very large Stalker army, though. He should be able to push this position without too much trouble. No upgrades yet for the Stalkers, though. Meanwhile, we see missile attacks coming out for the Zerg player. And wow, the Stalker's really going to work on all those Overlords and the Roaches. Guardian Shield going up. Force fields, trying to cut off some of these forces. Really only cut off about 2 of the Roaches. But it doesn't matter because this Tyler army is just so much larger than its Zerg counterparts. And Mutalisk coming in, trying to do some damage. But it looks like the reinforcements will force Tyler to at least micro backwards a little bit. And this is where the macro game really kicks into high gear. Machine can keep bringing in reinforcements. He can maybe hold this attack off, this much larger army. And here they go. Tyler pushing forward again, focus firing these Stalkers down and taking out a lot of Stalkers. And Machine GG's out. Yep. Wow, good game. So each one of these players has taken 1 game here in this series. Hey guys, what's up? This is Lasercorn. I just want to remind you to subscribe, comment, and rate these videos. Also, if you have any requests for videos you want to see or just want to say what's up, send that over to requests@mahalo.com. Alright, thanks a lot, guys.